Welcome all. Today's topic is Rashtrakutas of Manyakheta. They ruled from 753 to 973 AD. Before beginning the class, I request you to subscribe to the channel. Introduction. The Rashtrakutas were the most important among the imperial dynasties that ruled Karnataka. Their capital was Malakheda or Manyakheta. Thus they were called the Rashtrakutas of Manyakheta. Garuda was their royal emblem on the flag. They became powerful after Chalukyas of Badami and ruled for about 2.5 centuries over a vast empire. No other dynasties of Karnataka before or after ruled over such a vast empire as the Rashtrakutas. By establishing such an empire, they contributed much to the development of land, language, and culture of Kannadigas. First, let us know about the political history. Origin of the Rashtrakutas. We do not possess authentic evidence with regard to their origin. Hence, this has been a matter of controversy among the historians. The inscriptions, the Ellora caves, contemporary literary works, and the accounts of Muslim travelers are helpful in reconstructing their history, but they do not throw light on their origin. Rashtrakuta means union of states or the kingdom. Dr. Altekar interpreted the word Rashtrakuta as follows. The word does not signify any race, sect, or family. Rashtra means a province or a division of a kingdom in the olden days. Kuta means the union. Thus, Rashtrakutas were originally governors of a province. There are many branches of Rashtrakutas who ruled in the north and also in the south. Rashtrakutas of Malakheda of Karnataka attained prominence. Rashtrakutas have claimed that they were the Lattalur Puradishwaras. In this connection, Dr. Altekar remarks that the Rashtrakutas were the local people. They did not come from outside. Most of their inscriptions are in Kannada. The author of Kaviraja Marga, Amogavarsha Nrupatunga, was a Rashtrakuta king. On the basis of these evidences, one can come to the conclusion that they belong to Karnataka only. The recent research made in the Siriwala village of Gulbarga district by the Department of Archaeology of Mysore University has thrown much light on the Rashtrakuta history. Some of the inscriptions in temples and other relics of the Rashtrakuta period that are found there confirm that their capital was Manyakheta of Gulbarga district and they were Kannadigas. They ruled from Ilichapura of Birar as feudatory of Chalukyan Empire. First, let us know about Danti Durga. Danti Durga was the founder of Rashtrakuta kingdom. His ancestors Abhimanyu, Nani Raja, Karka I and Indira II were the feudatories of Chalukyas. Indira II had married a Chalukyan princess of Gujarat branch by kidnapping and Danti Durga was born to them. Danti Durga ruled from 735 to 756 AD. When the Badami Chalukyas were powerful, he was the feudatory. With the help of the Pallava king, Danti Durga conquered the Gurjaras of Bharuch and Chalukyas of the Gujarat branch and included them in his kingdom. Later in 752 AD, he defeated the last Chalukyan ruler Kirtivarma II. By this victory, he got Nasik, Satara, Pune and Kolhapura. He conquered Gujarat and appointed Karka II as its governor. Danti Durga, with his strength and ability, subdued the Chalukyas quickly and had the title Prithvi Vallabha, Khadga Valokha, Maharajadiraja, Raja Parameshwara, etc. He followed the Hindu faith and he was interested in the welfare of his subjects. As Danti Durga had no son, Krishna II, his brother, came to throne in 756 AD. Krishna. Another name of Krishna one was Kannarasa Ballala. The Chalukyas who were subdued by Danti Durga survived during his time. Krishna I defeated Kirtivarma II and thereby totally eclipsed the Chalukyas. Many of his brothers and cousins who helped him in the consolidation of the kingdom secured some important offices. Among them, Nana Gunavaloka, Manavaloka, Ratnavarsha, Vijayaditya were important. The inscriptions speak of conquest of Gangavadi by Rashtrakutas. In 770 AD, the crown prince Govinda was set up against the Chalukyas of Vengi and he defeated Vishnuvardhana IV of Vengi. Vishnuvardhana was defeated by Govinda, gave his daughter Sheela Bhattarike in marriage to Rashtrakuta prince Dhruva. He was the brother of Govinda. Thereby, he established matrimonial alliance with the Rashtrakutas. Krishna I was an able warrior and also good administrator. During his 18 years of rule, he extended the kingdom to a great extent. It was Krishna I that executed the Kailasa temple at Ellora out of a big rock. Even today, it remains as an important contribution to the world architecture. He had the titles Shubhatunga, Akalavarsha, Rajaparameshwara, Maheshwara, etc. Krishna I, apart from Kailasa temple, he built 18 other temples. Many Shivacharyas had his patronage. Some of his coins found in Nasik and Amaravati have title like Rajaparameshwara, etc. Next, let's learn about Govinda II. After the death of Krishna, the eldest son Govinda II ascended the throne. Under his father's regime, he fought with Chalukyan king of Vengi, Vishnuvardhana IV. Govinda was fond of pleasure and had neglected royal duties. He was not popular among his subjects. As a result, his brother Dhruva became powerful. He was also waiting for an opportunity to take up the entire administration into his hands. Govinda came to know of this and wanted to hand over the administration to his favorites. Dhruva rebelled against his brother. This resulted in a war. Though many kings, including the Pallavas, supported Govinda, Dhruva emerged victoriously in the war. Next, Dhruva. He ruled from 780 to 790. Dhruva usurped the throne in 780 AD at the ripe age of 50. He had titles like Dhara Varsha, Narendra Deva, Sri Vallabha. He wanted to take revenge against those who supported his brother's claim. He defeated the Ganga king Shivamara and captured Gangavadi. He appointed his son Stamba as a governor of the province. He defeated the Pallava king Dantivarma and he extracted a large tribute from him. After successful invasion of south, he turned towards north. He gathered his powerful army on the bank of river Narmada with his sons Govinda and Indra as commanders of different groups of his armies. He defeated Vatsaraja of Kannauj in the Battle of Jhansi. Though he acquired riches by this northern campaign, politically it was not of great importance. His 13 years of rule was significant. He proved to be an able king. Professor Direct is of opinion that Dwarasamudra or Dhruvasamudra, the Hoysala capital, got the name because of the irrigation tank built by Dhruva. Dhruva had 4 sons, namely Stamba, Karka, Suvarnavarsha, Govinda and Indira. The third son, Govinda, who was his father's choice, succeeded to the throne in 793 AD. Next, let's learn about Govinda III. He ruled from 793 to 814 AD. Govinda's succession was not happy. He had to face the revolt of his brothers Stamba, who was ruling the Gangavadi. Stamba, who lost the chance of succeeding his father, was unhappy and broke out in revolt. Govinda successfully subdued his brother's rebellion, yet he pardoned him and allowed him to continue as the governor of Gangavadi. Indra, another brother who helped him in suppressing the rebellion, was appointed as a governor of Gujarat. The Ganga king Shivamara, who after his release from the imprisonment attempted to recapture his kingdom, was again defeated by Dhruva and he killed in the battle. His kingdom was included in the Rashtrakutan domain. Charuponera, the king of Nolambavadi, accepted the overlordship of Govinda III. After consolidation in south, Govinda defeated the eastern Chalukyas of Vengi. In the north, he defeated Nagabhatta, the successor of Vatsaraja near Bundelkhand. Nagabhatta ran away and hid himself in the deserts of Rajputana. Chakrayuddha of Kannauj, who was a puppet in the hands of Dharmapala of Bengal, was also conquered. The Sanjan copper plates of Amogavarsha speaks of his horses drank the very waters bubbling in the Himalayan streams, and his war elephants tasted the sacred water of the Ganga. The valley of the great mountain intensely echoed the din of the musical bands played on the occasion of the auspicious bath. Next, northern victories. The northern victories brought him wealth and fame, but he did not annex those territories to his kingdom. Govinda must have been satisfied by their tribute and elegance. Moreover, it was difficult for him to govern those far-flung provinces. In 800 AD, he appointed his brother Indra as a vassal in southern Gujarat. Next, let's learn about his southern campaign. Meanwhile, in the south, the Pallavas, Pandyas, Cholas, Cheras, and Gangas had formed an alliance to fight against Govinda. But they could not withstand his armies in the battle. According to an inscription in 805 AD, he snatched away fish from the Pandyas, the bull from the Pallavas, the tiger from the Cholas, elephant from the Gangas, chap or the bow from the Cheras, and Varaha from the eastern Chalukyas. These were the respective emblems of these kingdoms. Amogavarsha also snatched the Pallava title Vairamegha for himself. Frightened by this, Vijayabahu, the king of Ceylon, also surrendered. Govinda, who attained so much fame and glory, died in 814 AD. His capital was Mayura Kandi. Govinda III, who had left his banner raised from Kanyakumari to Kannauj, was a terror to the kings of north. He was brave, valorous, and able in diplomacy. Govinda III was a Vaishnava and patron of scholars including Jains. Next, let's learn about Amogavarsha and Drupadunga. After Govinda III, his son Amogavarsha ascended the Rashtrakuta throne. He was the most popular king among the Rashtrakutas. His earlier name was Sharva. Srivijaya was his another name. When he came to the throne, he was only 14 years young. As a result, Karka, son of Indra, who was Govinda's brother, governed on behalf of the adolescent king. Taking advantage of this situation, many officials became disloyal. The Ganga king, who was just released from the prison, declared himself independent. Many feudatories also declared independence. This resulted in rebellions in many parts of the kingdom. It is not clear who were at the back of the rebellion and who led it. Amogavarsha had to receive a setback in the beginning. But however, after assuming power, he acted very shrewdly and brought the situation under control, and peace was established. In 830 AD, he declared war against Chalukyan Vijayaditya of Venki. At Vigavali, he completely defeated him and brought the kingdom under his direct rule for about 12 years. The Ganga king Rachamalla, who had succeeded Shivamara, did not oblige to be under the Rashtrakutas. As a result, a series of battles were waged between them for over 20 years. Amogavarsha's commander Bankesha fought against the Gangas. He won many battles but could not completely subdue the Gangas. At last, Amogavarsha gave his first daughter Chandrabalabe in marriage to Ganga prince Bhutuga I. This matrimonial alliance ended the hostility between them. Panchamukhi is of the opinion that in the same way he gave his second daughter Sheela Devi in marriage to the Chalukyan prince Vishnuvardhana, son of Vengi king Vijayaditya. Professor Halsuch thinks that he could have had the same kind of relationship with Pallavas by giving his third daughter Samkha Devi in marriage to Nandi Varma. Thereby, Amogavarsha achieved much more than what he could achieve by war. According to the inscription of Neelagunda and Sirur, Amogavarsha were respected in Anga, Banga, Magadha, Malwa and Vengi kingdoms. In his last days, he had to face the rebellion of his own son, the crown prince Krishna. and Dhruva, the son of Karka and a vassal of Lata. General Bankesha subdued this rebellion successfully. Amoghavasha's period was not an era of great victories. As great scholar, he loved peace and hence avoided wars to the best of his ability. It made him remembered here that he protected his kingdom from the Chalukyan menace and acquired the title Veeranarayana. He had attained the fame by protecting his kingdom without any damage from the various menaces. The Arab traveler Sulaiman, who visited his kingdom in 851 AD, has claimed that the kingdom of Amoghavasha is is one of the four great empires in the world. They are the other three being the Roman Empire, Chinese Empire, and the Empire of Caliph of Baghdad. This proves that Amoghavasha's fame had spread to foreign land also. He had the titles Dripatunga, Atishaya, Dhavala, Veeranarayana, Rattamarthanda, etc. It was he who built the new Rashtrakuta temple of Manyakheta or Mahakeda near Sedam in Gulbarga district. Inscriptions have described Amoghavasha's capital was so great and so grand that would even put a shame the capital of Lord Indra. The inscription have also eulogized him. He acquired the title of Kerala, Pandya, Chola, and Pallavas. Some scholars are of the opinion that he lost Gangavadi, which was captured by his father. The Malwa kingdom became independent. Even the Chalukyas of Vengi were subdued with a great difficulty. The Rashtrakutas of Gujarat did not accept his overlordship for a long time. Some inscriptions mention the victories which prove that he was a warrior, but he did not have many victories. These wars brought him no happiness. He wanted to be away from pains and losses due to wars. Moreover, he was attached by religion and literature. Thus, instead of becoming famous as a warrior, he attained fame as a great cultured king who was interested in literature and religion. In the words of Panchamukhi, Amoghavasha was like Dharma Ashoka, brave, peace loving, religious, tolerant, and king who had the welfare of his subjects in his art. He has attained the name which has lasted forever in the history of Karnataka. Next, literature during Amoghavasha. Amoghavasha was a patron of literature and himself a scholar. His contribution to literature was immemorable. Hindu and the Jain poets enjoyed generous patronage at his court. A Jain scholar, Shakatayana had written a Sanskrit grammar, Shabdanu Shasana, and a critic, Amoghavasha. The later work seemed to have been written in the name of his patron Amoghavasha. A Jain ascetic, Jina Senacharya, who was Amoghavasha's teacher, wrote Harivamsha, Adipurana, Jayadhavala, etc. This Adipurana is in Sanskrit language. His disciple Gunabhadra was Krishna's teacher. Mahaviracharya, the famous mathematician, wrote Ganitasara Sangraha. Jain ascetic Kumudenu has come out with the mathematical work Siri Bhuvalaya. Kumudenu has claimed that he was the guru of Amoghavasha. Amoghavasha wrote Kaviraja Marga in Kannada, Prashnotharamala in Sanskrit. Kaviraja Marga was, which is in Halegannada, is based on Dandi's Kavya Darshana. It is in this work for the first time in reference has been made with regard to the extent of Karnataka extending from Kaveri in the south to Godavari in the north. Next, let's know about the religion during Amoghavasha. Rashtrakutas were Jains and Amoghavasha extended equal respect to other faiths. He granted liberal grants and endowments to all religious institutions. He had great respect and faith in Hinduism. He was a great devotee of goddess Mahalakshmi. According to an inscription, the incident which made him a devotee of Mahalakshmi was as follows. Once a plague spread throughout the kingdom. People got frightened. A royal priest told him that if the king sacrificed his little finger to the goddess Mahalakshmi, the kingdom would be freed of famine and the plague. Amogavarsha cut off his small finger without hesitation and sacrificed it to the goddess Mahalakshmi. From these, two conclusions can be drawn about his personality. Amogavarsha had equal respect for all the faiths. He had the welfare of the subjects in his heart. However, after a lengthy rule of 64 years, he died in 880 AD. Next, let us learn about Krishna too. He ruled from 880 to 914 AD. Krishna too succeeded Amogavarsha. He had the title Akala Varsha, Shubhatunga, Prithvi Vallabha, etc. His queen was the daughter of the Chedi king Kokala. Krishna does not appear to be well versed in warfare. Only Bhagumra inscriptions had indicated the fact of defeat of the Gurjara king, but he was defeated by the Vengi king Vijayaditya. Later, Krishna built a powerful army and took the Chalukyan king Bhima I as prisoner. But Krishna was defeated by the Cholas in the battle that took place near Valala. Krishna then gave his daughter in marriage to the Chola king Aditya I and established a relationship with him. He also suffered defeat at the hands of Bhoja on the bank of river Narmada. Almost all the attempts of Krishna ended in failure. His only achievement was the defeat of Gurjaras. He could not win Gangavadi. In short, Krishna was a weak ruler. He died in 914 AD. Next ruler is Indira III, who ruled from 914 to 929 AD. Krishna's only son Jagatunga died in his youth. Hence, Krishna's grandson Indira succeeded to the throne. Indira had the same qualities of Govinda III. It is said that on the day of his coronation, Indira gave away 400 villages to temples and to Brahmins. He was also donated 20 lakh silver coins. He had the title Nitya Varsha, that is daily showers, meaning one who gives gifts every day. In his northern invasion, he defeated the Paramara king Upendra. At Kannauj, when Mahendrapala died, his son Bhoja II and youngest brother Mahipala disputed the right to the throne. Making use of this opportunity, Indra invaded and conquered Kannauj. This further extended the Rashtrakuta kingdom. Vijayaditya of Vengi died on the battleground in the battle near Veerapuri. Indra then conquered the Banas, who were ruling in the southern part of Andhra Pradesh. Amogavarsha II, who succeeded Indra in 929 AD, ruled only for 1 year. It perhaps that he lost his throne by the intrigues of his younger brother Govinda IV. But Govinda was denied his accusation of usurpation in his inscription. Govinda IV. He ruled from 929 AD to 935 AD. Govinda came to power by plotting against his brother. He had the titles Nrupatunga, Sahashanka, Veeranarana, etc. He was the prince of sensual pleasure and neglected the welfare of the people. As a result, he lost the loyalty of his subjects. During his time, Mahipala recaptured Kannauj. The Chalukyan king Bhima also won back Vengi, and Govinda was powerless to move against them. Later, at the hands of Bhima too, Govinda was totally defeated. The people who were discontented by his weakness and misrule invited his uncle Amogavarsha III to the throne. With the help of Chedi king, Amogavarsha overthrew Govinda and ascended the Rashtrakuta throne in 936 AD. He ruled for only 4 years. He was more interested in religion than in administration. Hence, the administration fell into the hands of his son Krishna III. Krishna III ruled from 939 to 967 AD. Krishna III, who got experience in administration even as a crown prince during his father's rule, had conquered many principalities. He sent his army to Gangavadi and dethroned Rachamalla, and his brother-in-law Bhutuga was placed on the throne. He also captured the forts of Bundelkhand and Kalinjar. Chedi kings were defeated by him and they went into exile. Even as a prince, Krishna had done as so much that he had titles like Prithvi Vallabha, Vallabha Narendra, Kalavarsha, etc. After his coronation, Krishna waged war against Cholas and captured Kanchi and Tanjore. In 940 AD, in the Battle of Takkolam, the Cholas suffered a disastrous and humiliating defeat at the hands of the Rashtrakutas. In this battle, the Ganga king Bhutuga, who was fought on the side of Rashtrakutas, killed Rajaditya Chola. Krishna marched up to Rameshwara and erected his victory pillar there. According to Karhadi inscription, he also defeated Cheras and Pandyas, but he did not bring them under his control for a long time. During his reign, the entire South India was under the control for a long time. Krishna III became the emperor of the India from Kannauj to Kanyakumari. Even in north, he invaded Malwa and defeated Harsha Siyuka, the Paramara king of Ujjaini, and made him vassal. By this time, Amma II, the king of Chalukyas of Vengi, who had become powerful, tried to suppress the Rashtrakutas. In the meantime, Krishna died in 967 AD. Krishna III was a great king, brave and able. He was also a patron of art and religion. He built the Krishneshwara, Gandamarthanda Ditya temples at Rameshwara. Krishna III conquered the title Ubhaya Kavi Chakravarti on his court poet Ponna. Krishna's son had died prematurely and his brother Kottiga ascended the throne. But nothing much was expected from him as he was already old. Thus, decline of the Rashtrakuta started with him. The feudatories who understood his weakness began to declare independence. Paramara Siyuka laid a siege to Manyakheta itself and looted the capital. Meanwhile, he died, and another brother of Krishna, Nirupama's son, Karka II, ascended the throne. During his time, the Rashtrakuta rule further worsened. By this time, the Chalukyas of Vatapi began to raise their heads at Tardavadi. They became powerful under Tailapa II. He overthrew Karka II and laid foundation for Chalukyas of Kalyana in 973 AD. In next class, let's learn about administration of Rashtrakutas. Thank you.